Hey, what's up guys? Andre here. I'm just leaving the gym and was jamming out to some music from a concert that I just went to on Tuesday night, and I wanted to give my rundown of the concert and the bands I saw and what I thought about their performance. I went Tuesday night to the 20th anniversary of the Wisconsin Death Trip Static X show. It was a memorial for the 5-year passing of Wayne Static, rest in peace, and the 20th anniversary of the Wisconsin Death Trip album release 20 years ago. Man, the show was awesome. I felt like a high school kid again. It was dope. Wednesday 13, DEVILDRIVER that did some Cold Chamber, and of course Static X with Wayne Static lookalike Zero. First band that played was a band by the name of Raven Black. They were a pretty cool opening band. They were kind of theatrical, very clown, carnival type vibe. Not for everybody, but I did dig it. It was pretty cool. The next band that was up, that I've loved these guys for years. I've never seen them live. Wednesday 13. I have not listened to Wednesday 13 in quite a while, and I will say the style has changed significantly, as you can see. His costume and outfit was creepy looking, dude. He had some sort of latex overlay on his face. Glow-in-the-dark paint, just very evil, sinister, alien looking. It was honestly kind of hard to look at. It legitimately creeped me out, which I guess was probably the point. Next up was the band Dope. Dope was dope. And I mean, his vocals were perfect. They played, some of my favorite hit songs, and man, like I said, it felt like high school all over again. Edsel's voice. The guys put on a great show. It was a little short. I was a little disappointed in that, but I understand why, and I'll get back to that later. The next band up, DEVILDRIVER. I have never seen DEVILDRIVER live. I've seen videos. Man, the energy was crazy. The backdrop was crazy. They had these giant, like 8-foot wide screens up with some wild, crazy imagery on there. It was a lot of fun. Now, I will say, the drummer was sloppy as shit. Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed. I haven't seen anything really with the new lineup of band members, and just to be honest, I was not impressed with the drummer. He was good, but he was sloppy, and he didn't hit the timing marks right. I've listened to these songs enough. I know these songs backwards and forwards. I was like, yeah, he fucked that up. And I said that a lot to myself. But the show overall, the performance overall was really good. Dez, his voice was awesome. And finally, he did Cold Chamber songs. He did Loco. And Fiend, of course. The two most popular songs they really had. But dude, to hear that, I mean, that was just like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. He's always kept it separate, and he said just for this tour, it felt appropriate to do those songs, just with the fan base and all. You know, around the time of Static X, when they first really came on the scene, Dez was in Cold Chamber, and it just felt right. And it was really fucking cool to see. And then, of course, last but not least, Static X. Man, that is a bucket list I never thought would get checked. Wayne Static passed away 5 years ago, unfortunately of a drug overdose. And it hit the whole rock and roll metal world really hard because Static X is a band, they just really stood out on their own. And you either know who they are and love them, or you just have no freaking clue who they are. They're a band that appeals to regular radio rock guys, and they're a band that appeals to the most hardcore metal guys you've ever met. Like, everybody just digs Static X, I think because of their originality. It was the original lineup, which was really fucking cool to see, except of course Wayne. Now, for people who don't know, of course they had a guy filling in on vocals, and he had a Wayne-esque mask. He had the hair like Wayne, and you know, I could hear the vocal overlays of Wayne to give his voice, you know, a more authentic sound. Edsel, I know it was you. You can't deny this. I know it was you. Same stature. His hair was the right length. Your voice is too undeniable when you were talking between songs. I heard the little distortion they tried to put over it and hide it. It ain't working. I know it's you, bro. But you did a fantastic job. Granted, he was having some real freaking technical difficulties. He was flipping off the sound guy and getting really pissed off. He was going backstage between every song. But overall, he did a really good job. I was 20 feet in front of the monitor, and my ears are still ringing 2 days later. I guess I've got some temporary tinnitus. And overall, I couldn't have been to a better show. It was so much fun. It was 4 bands that I've never seen, that I've always wanted to see, and I got to see them all in the same night. And just the nostalgia of high school and listening to these bands for the first time, and them covering all of their, you know, my most favorite hits that they do, was just so freaking cool. We didn't get home till insanely late. We drove back from Atlanta after the show. And speaking of which, I got to meet the band. I can't believe it. Check this out. So when we were walking into the venue, we ran into this dude, and he had a backpack with him. This dude had flown from Las Vegas just to see this show. He paid the like $1,400 VIP thing. You get a signed guitar and meet the band and all kinds of stuff. Well, they wouldn't let him in the venue because he had a small backpack with him, because he just freaking flew from Vegas. And he was like, "Hey, can I put this in your car?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Put it in the car. And we exchanged numbers, of course, to meet up after the show. And during the show, he's like, "Hey, dude, I have an extra VIP badge. Do you want to meet the band?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, of course I want to meet the band. Are you joking? That's freaking awesome. I'm going to meet Static X. Holy shit." Well, of course, throughout the night we were talking about with my wife, I was like, "Well, how are we going to do this? We can like swap out back and forth. Like, I don't know what to do." Well, after the show, we meet up with my buddy, and he's standing there with another guy who has a VIP pass, and his buddy didn't show up, so that guy had an extra VIP pass. So me and my wife both got to meet Static X. Now, she's not the most familiar with the band. She likes some of their songs, but it was just totally freaking awesome to get to meet these guys They did a Q&A. I got a drumstick. They signed my shirt. They all signed a poster. We got a picture together. It was just the most memorable concert experience I've ever been to in my life. And I'm still blown away. It was so worth the trip and the scary, tired drive home. And I can't say enough about it. It was just the most fun show I've ever been to. So thank you to the bands for the awesome performance. Thank you, Josh, for hooking me up with the VIP pass, dude. That was fucking rad. I'll never forget that moment. Man, if I am ever out to Vegas, I'll hit you up. You ever come out here, hit me up. All right, guys, this was my rundown of the show. Hope you enjoyed the little clips that I threw in there. This is Andre with Metal and Muscle. Rock on, dude.